The pyramids of Giza, towering majestically on the edge of the Egyptian desert, are a marvel of human ingenuity. When you stand before them, it's almost impossible not to feel a sense of awe. These structures have stood for over 4,500 years, withstanding the sands of time, earthquakes, and the relentless march of history. But despite centuries of study, the Giza Pyramids still hold secrets that baffle us. How were they built? Why were they built the way they were? And what mysteries remain hidden beneath their stone surfaces? Now, let's take a moment to talk about the scale of these pyramids. The Great Pyramid, built for Pharaoh Khufu, is the largest of the three. Standing 481 feet tall, it was the tallest man-made structure on Earth for over 3,800 years. Today, it still holds a certain magic, as if it's a puzzle we're still trying to solve. The sheer scale and complexity of its construction raise more questions than answers. How did the ancient Egyptians manage to transport millions of tons of stone across vast distances and assemble them with such precision? The traditional theory is that ramps were used to drag the massive blocks into place. Some say they built long, straight ramps leading up to the pyramid, while others propose spiral ramps wrapped around the pyramid's exterior or inside the structure itself. But here's the problem: no evidence of these ramps has ever been found. There are no carvings, no remnants of tools or construction equipment, and no signs of where these ramps might have been. So, we're left wondering, how did they do it? Were there methods we've simply lost to history, or did they have knowledge and techniques we can't even begin to understand? And let's not forget about the stones themselves. The Great Pyramid is constructed from around 2.3 million blocks of limestone and granite, with the granite coming from quarries over 500 miles away. Some of these stones weigh several tons each. It seems almost impossible to fathom how they could have moved these massive blocks without modern machinery. The level of precision is also uncanny. These stones fit together so tightly that you can't even slide a piece of paper between them. Even today, it's a challenge for engineers to replicate the pyramid's construction techniques. So, we're left asking, did the Egyptians have some kind of lost technology, or was there a method to their madness that we just can't comprehend? Now, there's another mystery that's just as perplexing: the alignment of the pyramids. The Great Pyramid is aligned so precisely to the cardinal directions, true north, south, east, and west, that it's almost hard to believe it was done without modern instruments. We're talking about a construction done thousands of years ago, yet the precision is so exact that even with our advanced technology, it's tough to replicate. And what's even more fascinating is the alignment with the stars. The pyramids, particularly the Great Pyramid, are aligned with the stars in the constellation of Orion, which was sacred to the ancient Egyptians. Orion was considered the home of Osiris, the god of the afterlife. But how could the ancient Egyptians, without telescopes or advanced star charts, have achieved such precise alignment? Was it simply a fluke, or did they have knowledge of the stars that we've lost over time? Let's also talk about the capstone, or more specifically, the fact that it's missing. The original pyramid, when it was completed, would have had a smooth, shining capstone, likely made of gold or electrum, a combination of gold and silver. This capstone would have reflected the sunlight, making the pyramid shine brightly during the day. The Great Pyramid would have looked almost like a beacon, visible from miles around. But today, that capstone is gone. It could have been stolen, or perhaps it was lost to time, but it's one of the many pieces of the puzzle that we'll likely never be able to put back together. What was the real purpose of the capstone? Was it a symbol of the pharaoh's divinity, or was it more than that, a kind of connection to the heavens, an ancient form of cosmic energy? The truth is, we may never know. And then there's the void. In 2017, something fascinating happened. Using cosmic ray imaging, researchers discovered a hidden void inside the Great Pyramid. It's an enormous space, bigger than a room, perhaps a passage, but we don't know what it's for. The technology used to uncover this void was groundbreaking, and the discovery only added to the mystery. Some speculate it could be a hidden burial chamber, possibly intended for Pharaoh Khufu, or maybe even an entirely new chamber, containing treasures or information about the pyramid's construction. But the fact remains, this hidden space has never been explored, and its purpose is still a mystery. Could it be that this secret chamber holds the key to understanding how the pyramid was built, or is it something even more profound, a part of a larger design we've yet to comprehend? The Giza Pyramids also raise questions about their purpose. We've always been told they were tombs, built to house the pharaohs in their afterlife. But as time goes on, more and more researchers are questioning this assumption. Why is the Great Pyramid so devoid of hieroglyphs, unlike every other tomb we've discovered in Egypt. There are no inscriptions, no carvings, no paintings, nothing to indicate it was meant to be a tomb. Could the Great Pyramid have served a different purpose altogether? Some suggest it could have been a giant observatory, a kind of ancient machine used for studying the stars and the heavens. Others propose that it might have been a place of initiation, a site for spiritual rites, or perhaps even a device for harnessing cosmic energy. The possibilities are endless, but the fact that it remains undecorated, unlike every other Egyptian structure, points to something unusual about its purpose. And what about the pyramid's true age? The Great Pyramid is often dated to around 2580 BCE, but some researchers believe it might be much older than that, possibly thousands of years older. There are those who argue that the pyramid could have been built by a lost civilization, far more advanced than we give the ancient Egyptians credit for. They point to evidence of water erosion around the Sphinx and the surrounding structures, suggesting that the Giza Plateau may have been a center of civilization long before the Egyptians arrived. If that's true, it raises the question, who built the pyramids, and why? Were the Egyptians simply inheritors of a much older tradition, or did they, too, play a role in building something that transcended their time? In the end, the Giza Pyramids continue to mystify us. For all the research, all the theories, and all the discoveries, we're no closer to unlocking their true purpose or understanding how they were built. But perhaps that's part of their allure. The more we learn, the more questions we have. The pyramids stand as a reminder that, no matter how advanced we become, there will always be mysteries that defy explanation. And maybe that's the true magic of the Giza Pyramids. They're a puzzle, a challenge, a riddle that keeps us coming back for more, generation after generation. Until we can uncover the full story, the Giza Pyramids will remain one of the greatest mysteries of the ancient world. If you're like me and can't get enough of these unsolved mysteries, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The secrets of the pyramids are just one chapter of the many enigmas still waiting to be unraveled, and there's so much more to discover. Whether it's ancient history, unsolved crimes, or the mysteries of the universe, we'll be right here exploring it all with you.